Hello to everyone and welcome back to the Python course. In this video, we're just going to speak about the operators mostly used in Python. So there are 5 types of operators in Python: arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, and finally assignment operators. That we're just going to speak about all of them. So let's go for the code. In this video, we're just going to cover the arithmetic, comparison, logical, and assignment operators which are mostly used in programming. And first of all, we're just going to go for the arithmetic operators, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, exponentials, and floor division. We're just going to cover all of them by a sample. First of all, I've defined 2 variables, which in the last video we spoke about how to use and define their variables, and you can just check it out. I've defined a variable called a with a value of 10 and a variable called b with a value of 3. And I'm just going to do all of the arithmetic operations on these 2 variables. So first of all, I'm just going to define them. And as the first arithmetic operator, I'm just going to go for the addition, which I'm just going to add these 2 values. And for doing this, I'm just going to comment other lines and just only run one of them to see only one output. I'm just going to run this cell. Let's wait that the kernel connects. And here you can see the output addition equals to 13. So this is actually working really well. Let's go for the next one, which it is subtraction. And I'm just going to delete the comment. And I'm just gonna subtract the value of a, which it is 10, with the 3, which equals 7. I'm just gonna run it, and the subtraction output, it is 7. Let's go for the next one, which it is multiplication, which I'm just gonna multiply the value of 10 to 3, or the value of a variable to b variable. I'm just gonna execute this all, and the output is 30. Let's go for the next one, which it is division. I'm just gonna divide the value of a, which it is 10, to the b, which is 3. It's just gonna be like 3 and some more numbers, here you can see. And this is how actually we're using arithmetic operators for 2 variables, but you can use more and more variables that if you want, if it is your target and you're just going to use. The modular workflow is like this. When we divide the value of 10 to 3, it means 3 times 3, which equals 9, but with only one living number. As I'm just going to open my calculator and give you a sample for you guys. So 10 divided by 3, it is something like 3 and more, a number like this. But if we're just going to use 3 times 3, which equals 9, plus one thing that is going to equal to 10, and that's one thing, it is number 1, which it is the modulo result of 10 modulo b, or a modulo b. Let's go for the next one, which it is exponentials, and I'm just gonna exponentials a to b, or 10 exponentials by 3 times, which it is 1000 number. Let's see how exponentials works. So this actually tells this to multiply the 10 3 times. So 10 exponentials 3 times, 10, 10, and 10. We just multiply 10 3 times, and the result it is 1000. And we can see that the result it is actually working true. Let's go for the last arithmetic operator, which it is floor division. I'm just gonna run it, and we get 3. So this is how actually all of the arithmetic operators work in Python. Let's go for the comparison operators, which are equal to, which we use to sign operators, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. There is a big difference between these operators, which the only output of comparison operators are true or false, nothing else. As another sample, I'm just going to define two values, which they are going to be x and y. The x value is going to be 15 and the y value is going to be 20. Let's go for the first comparison operator, which is equal to. I'm just going to execute the cell, and here you can see we get the false output. As I told you, we only get true or false output because 15 it is not equal to 20. We're just gonna get the false output. Let's go for the next one, which is not equal to. As I know 15 is not equal to 20, I predict that the value is gonna be true. Why? Because we are using not equal to. 15 is not equal to 20, and the answer to this question, it is true. Let me just change the x value to 20 to see the output, and here we can see that we get the result false because it is true. I'm just gonna change back it to 15 to continue the progress, and let's go for the greater than, and let's see that if x is greater than y, so 15 is not greater than 20, the result is gonna be false. Let's go for the next one, and there is nothing except less than. So 20 is less than 15. When we're speaking about the operators and the operation that we're doing on variables, we only pay attention to the value. I'm just gonna run it, and here you can see that the result, it is actually true. So x is less than y. It is working true. Let's go for the next one, which it is gonna be greater than or equal to. I'm just gonna run it. So x is not greater than or equal to y. So 15 is not greater than or equal to 20. As I'm just gonna change it to 20, we're just gonna run it, and we get the true output. So this, it has two positions or situations. It's gonna be greater or equal. So 20 is not greater than 20, but it is equal to 20. It is giving me the true output because my values are just equal to each other. I'm just gonna change the x to the last version, which it is 15, and we get the false output in this position and in these values. Let's go for the last comparison operator, which it is less than or equal to. I'm just gonna run it, and it is true. Why? Because x is less than y, or 15 is less than 20, and it is working because of the less part, not the equal part. So this only has two kind of like answers in two different situations. This was everything you needed to know about comparison operators. Let's go for the next one, which are logical operators. So logical operators are used to combine conditional statements, and only just like comparison operators, they return true or false. We've got and, which if the both statements are true, it responds as true. And we've got the or, which if one of the statements is true, the answer is gonna be true. And we've got the not, which is reverse the result and returns false if the result is true. Let's go for this. This is kind of like something harder to understand, and you gotta pay more time on it. I'm just gonna define two variables, p and q. The p is gonna be true and q is gonna be false. Let's go for the first one, which it is and operator. I'm just gonna print the result of this. So and both of the variables, it must to be true. As we know, we have one true and one false. So I predict that the answer is gonna be false. Execute it, and we get the false response. Why? Because q is not true. Q is false value. Let's go for the or operator, or maybe I'm just gonna change the value of q and go for the or operator. I'm just gonna define it to true for you guys to see all of the possible output, what happened here. I'm just gonna put it to true. I'm just gonna run it, and we're speaking about the AND operator, and here we can see that as both of the values are true, we get the true output. And finally, let's change it to the last version, which it was false. And let's go for the OR operator. I'm just gonna run it, and here you guys can see that if one of my values are true, I'm just gonna get the true output in the OR. P or Q. This it says one of the values that you're defining and giving to me, I mean P should be Q or Q should be true. And as I'm just gonna define the value of P to the false, I'm just gonna define it to false and run it, I get the false output. Why? Because none of them are true. And if I'm just gonna change the value of my Q to true, we've got two trues in this situation. The answer is true because only one of them it could be true, but we've got two of them true, which it is actually working in this situation. And let's go for the last one, which we've got not operator. This it says not P, and not P, it reverses the result. Not P, what is P? P is true, so not P is gonna be false. So let's go for the not Q. What is the Q? Q is false, but not Q, or the reverse value of Q variable, which it is false, is gonna be true. I'm just gonna run it and we get the true output. This was everything you needed to know for logical operators. Let's go for the assignment operators, which they are the kind of operators in Python used to assign values to variables. First of all, we've got assign value. Here you can see this is not equal to. Equal to is this, which is a comparison operator we use to assign values. We've got add and sign, subtract and sign, multiply and sign, divide and sign, modulus and sign, exponentials and sign, floor division and signs. So, as this sample for the assignment operators and the last operator we're speaking, I just gave one example, which it is n, and the value of n variable is gonna be 5. So I'm just gonna print the value of n, which is gonna give the 5 output as I've defined it. Let's go for the add and assign, which I'm just gonna add the value of n to 3 and assign it after adding the number or the value I have defined. So I'm just gonna add the value of 3 to 5 and assign it to n, which is gonna be 8. Here you can see the output. So the first thing that we do is adding, and next we assign the value or the added value. Let's go for the next one, which it is subtract and assign. I'm just gonna subtract the value of n with 2 and assign it to n again, which is gonna be 3. Here you can see, guys, first of all, we subtract the value using 2 and we assign it later. Let's go for the next one, which it is multiply and assign. I'm just gonna run it. Here you can see it multiplies the number of 5 to 4. So 5 multiply 4, it equals 20, and assign it later to the n variable. And finally, let's go for the last one, which it is divide and sign. And I have not brought you guys modulus and sign, exponential and signs, floor division and signs. I don't think so it's gonna be essential and required, and the length of the video is gonna be 2 more. So we're just gonna divide the value of n to 2 and assign it later after the division to the n again. As we do this, we get 2.5, and this is actually working really well. So this was everything that you need to know about essential and most used operators in Python, which we speak about assignment operators, logical operators, comparison operators, and arithmetic operators. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. Don't forget to follow other courses, other videos and tutorials in my channel. Share it with your friends. I wish you guys the greatest and the greatest of the time. Stay tuned.